Good morning. Fish the Beach Bum Investor with the cryptocurrency discussion and report for the 3rd of February 2018. Another gloomy day in the markets, another gloomy day on the Gold Coast. Not a great start to the year. January's been a pretty poor month, but and the start of February, let's hope we can bring it home. I heard a prediction of Cliff High saying that Bitcoin will come back to sort of 13 grand by the end of Feb. I'm not sure if I agree with that. There's certainly been a shakeout of confidence. Perhaps this is when the savvy will strike. Be interesting to see how it goes. Dennis Turk, how are you? Chronicus. My thing's beeping away. Yeah, so I just did a quick update on CoinMarketCap now. It's not looking superb, I must admit. Pretty much red across the board. Neo's been somewhat resilient, 0.08% in the positive over the last 24 hours. AccuFi in the house. So what are you guys thinking? I saw Bitcoin get pretty low. I saw the whole economy drop pretty low when I was spot checking overnight. Dropped below 400 billion. Have we seen the last of it, or do you think there could be more? Crypto winter upon us, or are we going to bounce back? Anyone got any thoughts on it? Chronicus said that ICX is holding 60,000 SAP. That's good to see. It's taken a battering though, hasn't it? Absolute battering, ICX. A lot of them have. Where's ICX sitting at the moment? 60K, and in fiat, it's sitting at $5.18. BTC RSI is sitting at 50%. Yeah, it's a bloodbath at the moment. Monero's up as another gainer. EOS has come up a little bit from yesterday. Tether, 99 cents. People still buying into that one. Not sure if I'll be one of them. That's on the 1 hour candles. Okay. Cool. I'm not really watching graphs. Like, that's the thing. Like, technical analysis kind of failed us, right? I don't think anyone saw the drop coming this aggressively. Only a couple anyway. When the RSI starts going up, the price seems to rebound, says Chronicus. Yeah, it's an interesting perspective. I think this is, I read an article this morning just talking about, Bitcoin's price dropping and taking, throwing some figures from the last month, last 2 months, and then comparing it to the last year and that sort of thing. But one of the comments was really interesting. And the person in the comments actually said, well, you know what? The thing is that it's mainstream media is a big hurdle in the crypto economy at the moment. And I tend to agree, because every time I hear something in the mainstream media, it tends to be primarily negative. Chronicus reckons all the TA guys have been saying 7,500 bottom correction needed for the next bull run. I didn't hear too many of them saying it when it was up at 20 grand, man. I heard some figures that were like 12 and things like that, but I didn't hear too many going down to 7.5. Zhaozin, Joe, how are you, man? Joe, I sent you some tokens the other day. Did you get that, bro? We got extra bonuses. What am I going to do? Well, the answer is hodl. BitConnect's completely crashed out of the game, by the way, which is good. Like, no offense to BitConnect holders, but even that death rattle was a bit silly. Just speculative money going, oh, let's play the token. What do I think about DGB as a hedge against Bitcoin? DGB. Did you buy it? Isn't it? You'll have to explain that to me, Mr. Ahmed, Shaquille Ahmed. Good to see you, man. Why do you think DGB as a hedge against Bitcoin? What makes you think? Like with me, how I talked about IOTA being a hedge because it's different technology, or Byteball, or Rayblox even. That all works on that cyclic graph technology. But what do you? Oh, okay, it's decentralized autonomous organization. Yeah, cool, man. Oh, DigiDAO. Okay, yeah. Well, that's DGD. Sorry, not DGB. Okay, I got you, bro. I haven't had too much into it actually, Shaquille. Why are you calling it a hedge against Bitcoin? I haven't actually looked at the technology. Is there any specific reason, or is it just because it's had that that inverse relationship in the last week or so? Because that happens like that. I mean, Chaincoin did this when like the market dumped big time back in July, I think it was. Like I don't know. I can't remember. It was way back last year. And Chaincoin ran massively up against the trend. The whole market was dumping, and Chaincoin ran to $6. And since then, they've had a massive development to change their logo. I'm going to get in trouble. Oh, cool. No worries, Joe. Sweet, bro. I haven't been having a whole lot of time to get on Discord. Zhao, you said you need to check Julian tweet. What did he tweet about, bro? I'll try and get it up. I don't have Twitter on this computer that I'm using, that's all. I can check it on mine, but I can't bring it up for everyone to share. Crypto Chronica said, now some people got schooled and can tell their friends to do research. Yeah, that's it. 1 token is 1 gram of gold. So it's backed against gold, is it, Shaquille? That's really interesting. Why do we need to have that as a digital asset? I don't understand. And how, like, that's the other thing is how sure are we that there is actually this gold? Same as Tether, you know? I'll have to look more into it too before I can actually make a comment on that, Shaquille. Obviously, everyone's pretty interested with what is actually bucking the trend of the entire market and gaining 60%. But it does happen. 1 or 2 coins buck the trend, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to stay there. Quite often, they're the ones to retrace as the rest of the market comes back. But it may be awesome, man. I just haven't looked into it, so I can't really comment. Chronicus reckons the market needed some people to get wrecked. Yeah, I know. I just hate it. Xiao thinks it takes out the stupid money. Joseph Gania, speaking of Byteball, Dr. Byteball in the house. Speaking of Byteball, I've purposed a new slogan, Byteball, because it's better. Simple, easy, to the point. You'll remember Byteball because it's better. How about show us your Byteballs? Can you pitch that one over to the devs, man? I know you're in contact with them. Say Fish says show us your Byteballs. Oh dear. All right, JP O'Brien, cool. Yeah, man, I remember you from Discord for sure. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, Joe. Joe just said people are scared that Tether is insolvent, so to use the DigiDAO seems silly. They could be just as easily insolvent. Is ICX $4, Joe? Are you serious, bro? Is it still bleeding? It's been a bloodbath, eh? I was stoked to pay Tanya right before all this happened. Otherwise, it pretty much would have been cashing out on my PIVX to pay her. So I got lucky with that one. My timing was excellent right before the crash. It probably caused it. No, I'm joking. What are we looking at? ICX. 518 I've got on here. It dip down to 4, did it, Joe? Yeah, I still think it's a $30 coin long term, man. The Korean one's going to be struggling to get in at the moment. They're probably wanting to buy the crap out of this lower end of the market. Like, it's the cheapest prices we've had in months. And there's probably a few Koreans pretty interested in getting in, but can't because of the new restrictions. So they're going to need to make their way down to their banks, get their KYCs or whatever they're referred to as in that country underway with their banks, and they'll be able to get their Korean one back in. That's a good thing. Regulation, right? That's the thing. Like, I was reading an article this morning, and it's like, well, we've had all this scare about regulation. I'm like, regulations shouldn't be scary. That should be validating our economy and making it, you know, long-term gains. People should be factoring factoring that in, I think. Oh, that's pretty cool. Crypto Chronicus said we need locked boxes, like I was talking about. UPS is rolling out locked boxes you can pay with Bitcoin. I don't like the whole we have assets, so we're worth the investment coins. It's just too hard to expect people to trust audits in a trustless system, a trustless ecosystem. Great point, mate. Who was that? Sam. Good on you, Sam. Good point. Stupid money is what makes us money, though. That's a good point, Funny Eagle. Someone does have to lose for you to win. Crypto Care. Coinbase was trading lowest last night. My conclusion was panic sellers that are new to Coinbase. Yeah, I mean, how many users did it take on at the end of 2017? They were signing up to some ridiculous number a week. Crypto Chronicus says, put gold in, owner sells one time, use the key to new owner, ownership transferred, a new owner gets a new key, he can then sell. Yeah, I get it, but oh, Joseph Garnier, that's the best. He's got. We should. Bite Balls should do a Bite Ball slogan competition because that is awesome. Joseph Garnier said, "Our Bite Balls have dropped. Now it's time to man up." Oh, good stuff. I haven't had a look at it, Backyard Charizard. Haven't seen you in a while either. Do you want to have a look? I'll just catch up with the end of this chat, and then we'll have a look at one that Backyard Charizard wants to have a look at, called Straks, STRAKS. Hit $4 last night with ICX. Fish, what do you think of personalities Roger Ver and Richard Hart? Richard Hart I like. I think he's very opinionated. I don't agree with everything he says, but I do like him in general. Roger Ver, I'm not a big fan of. I think most of what he does is very much aimed at his own success and lining his own pockets. That's my... I'd never heard of him before I got into the crypto economy, obviously. And to start with, the first thing I heard about him was his Bitcoin Jesus, and I went, okay, cool. But yeah, the more I saw his stuff, it was just all about personal wealth. He's got no interest in anything else other than serving himself, in my opinion. Okay, so let's have a look at Straks for Backyard Charizard. I'm just going to go over and make sure I can find it on CoinMarketCap because this often bites me in the bum. It'll be something at ICO or something. Strak. Yeah, got it here, bro. Its trade symbol is STAK, and I'm going to bring you over to screen share so we can watch this together. Screen sharing now. All right, cool. Alrighty. So we've got $3.80 in fiat, 44,000 Satoshi. It's had a good run in the last 24 hours against the market. Low market cap of 5 million. Trade volume of 88,000 in the last 24 hours. Goodness gracious, this is weird. Okay, so we've got a 1 million circulating supply, a 42 million total supply, and 150 million max supply, which says that the founders are holding up. To me, I'd say the founders and core team are holding a whole lot of the market cap. And I'm not sure how this inflation factors in, but that to me straight away, with that circulating supply and that total supply, it could also be something to do with ICO releases. How long has this coin been around for? Yeah, it's not been around that long. So like a month. I don't think it will. I like the chart action. It's not too bad. Like it's sideways. That's concerning. I'd have to understand more about that. Let's go and have a quick look at the project, shall we? Australian internet. This is why I'm not competitive with those guys in the US on YouTube. Australian government, you're holding me back because I've got crappy internet. This is the best I can get in my area too. I pay for the top tier. There we go. Glad I had the rant stored up to get us through that part. All right. Straks, a decentralized open source community driven digital currency focusing on e-commerce utility. Cool. Why Straks? E-commerce utility. As the digital currency market grows, businesses are increasingly aware of the benefits of integrating digital currencies as a payment method. Not only does Straks seek to ensure it as easy to integrate and utilize for business as possible, it also aims to be as widely used in e-commerce as possible. Decentralized ownership, decentralized access level is necessary to ensure the long-term prosperity of the currency. Rest safely knowing that your investment is never dependent on a single individual. Strax always aims to ensure that core access levels are decentralized and distributed. Speed. Strax promises to always optimize and improve transaction speeds so that you may send and receive the currency in an instant. SegWit increases the block size and block capacity, ensuring fast transaction speeds. Even as the network grows, SegWit combined with block intervals of just 60 seconds makes Strax rival even the most conventional transaction methods on the market, making it an ideal e-commerce currency to integrate. 60-second block time, same as PIVX, except ours are malleable. Little PIVX plug in there. All right, privacy. Nothing is more important to Strax than its investors and business partners. Safeguarding both is a key priority for Strax. To ensure that the currency remains fungible, Zero Coin protocol will be implemented. Hang on a second. We have Zero Coin protocol. We have 60-second block times. The PIVX I'm talking about. Zero Coin protocol will be implemented. The currency will always hold equal value irrespective of the past transaction associations, as transactions will remain untraceable and anonymous. This strengthens Strax's long-term market position further. Self-funded. Strax seeks to be 100% self-funded with one of the lowest POW fees on the market, a 5% fee on POW in perpetuity ensures Strax is well-funded throughout its entire life cycle. This helps to support product development, business development, and ongoing operational expenses through its lifespan. Atomic swap. The digital currency market is a fast-moving environment, and keeping at the forefront of the technology and future trends is key to success. With a growing number of currencies on the market and a shifting consumer demand with a need for more decentralization, Atomic Swap seeks to give users greater flexibility in exchanging real-time between currencies. Yeah. Yeah, they say no chargeback or fraud. That's just, that's not something specific to Strax. That's a benefit of the whole ecosystem, the blockchain ecosystem. Fast transaction times, well, there's a lot of currencies doing that. And how scalable is it when the goal is to increase block sizes? That's what I read. We already know that that's not achieved, that doesn't achieve mass adoption. 60-second block times is an advantage for sure, but low transaction fees. I don't see anything that this is offering different to what anything else on the dashboard where core network and trading statistics will be available. A marketplace where users will be able to trade goods and services. I don't see straight off the bat what this is offering, that's not already available in the economy. I'm trying to understand how this is so much better and why it needs to exist. Community. That's good. You can go out and check, you can go and speak to the actual, probably the devs and things like that. Let's have a look at the team. Quick look. Yeah. Nah, see, this I don't. Squabs, lead developer and business manager. There's no LinkedIn or anything like that. I got no idea what that guy's done before. So straight off the top of the bat, for me, that would be one that I'm not super excited about. I think that there are other coins already existing and doing really, really good job in the area that this coin is looking to come into. Needless to say, there are many, many overlaps with PIVX, which may make me somewhat biased. I'm prepared to admit that, but I'm just trying to understand what it brings to the market above and beyond what already exists in the market. So if there's nothing, then for me, there's not really a reason for it to exist. Ethercept said, "Hey, Ethercept, how you doing?" What did Joe say? What are you guys talking about? Okay, hang on, I'm coming. I still miss chat, even when I've got it expanded to big chat. Okay, Joseph Garnier said, oh, Hourglass, welcome. How you doing, man? Okay, here we go. Ethercept said, Joseph Garnier, Richard Hart, brilliant to listen to, terrible to read. Roger Ver, wonderful ideologies, terrible at communicating and invigorating others. Roger Ver needs Fisher's charisma. Oh, I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of his. Just anyone who just that interview that he did with that guy, and he belittled him about how much his company made and things like that. I was just like, whoa. He really put me off with that one. Joseph Garnier, you're absolutely right about Roger Ver. What he's been doing with Bitcoin Cash is absurd. Bcash, as Dr. Bible referred to it, honestly, his personality seems very strange. Genius, but kind of unstable. Yeah, no, I don't doubt he's smart. I don't doubt he's intelligent. Absolutely. Guys, I've been looking into SPHTX. Gives off a Ripple sort of a vibe. Seed investor is JP Morgan. Do your own due diligence. Thank you, Joe. Might be Goldman. Goldman or, yeah, so one of the bankers. I'll just leave it for the sake that it's with them, Joe. I know there's probably money to be made there, man, but I don't care. Bite Balls, Dr. B said Richard Hart is really hard to argue with. I don't agree with him regarding the altcoin market, but I would hate to debate him. And I think you've gone on to say something, but yeah, no, he would be difficult to debate. There are a few people that I would be nervous about debating. I don't lose too many myself, but probably get smoked in that one. If ICX stays down until Thursday next week, I will owe so much I'm going to drown in it. Oh, own so much I'm going to drown in it. Yeah, man. Ethercept, how much must our community own, man, of ICX? The Crypto Wave investment crew collaboratively, we've got to own 1% of that market. We would have to be pretty close. We would, wouldn't we? Yeah, we would. I'm sure we would. Anyway. Sam said, Hourglass lucky bastard, I almost had a heart attack waking up to a notification about ICX hitting $4 last night. It's undergone a swap process to help people burnt by Signatum. What happened with Signatum, Backyard Charizard? I didn't even heard about that. I had an old friend who got into that. We had a massive falling out, one of my early colleagues in the crypto economy, but we had a huge falling out, but he was into Signatum. He was mining it. So I sort of have heard of it before. I just hadn't, it wasn't something I was invested in, and I hadn't kept an eye on it. So I hadn't heard what happened there. Backyard Charizard likes that one. He said it's undergone a swap process to help people burnt by Signatum. Okay, so that's actually the one we looked at. Cool. Well worth researching in depth. No worries, Backyard Charizard. I've let everyone know. So if you're into, Backyard Charizard's got really strong feelings about Strax, STAK. So please go and check it out for yourself. Whoa. Still waiting on my 3-day settlement from stupid SEC rules. Settles Wednesday. Yeah, man. Sucks. Also, Bitstamp has Jiao's saying keep the dragon. Yeah, I like Dragon Coin or Dragon Chain, whatever it's called at the moment. Raj has come in and said BTC and Ether are going down with a big frowny face. Opportunity. If you've kept some capital aside, like you always should, especially during the run-ups, opportunity time. Also, Bitstamp has suspended both mine and my companion's accounts for more fiat deposits. They want evidence of how we earn the money. Ethercept's calling $3 ICX. That's just because he wants more of it. Fish, I want to start making live videos like yours. If you could take a second to tell me what software you're using, Google Hangouts. Yes, Joey. Dr. Byballs. Do you want to do a show together, dude? Come on. Can meet everyone here and then launch your own YouTube channel off the back of that. You're welcome to if you want to, man. Just contact me over at Discord. We'll set it up. That's cool to hear that you're getting on the live stream game, man. It's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun for sure. Michael Jordan said, "Whoa, what's wrong with Bitcoin Cash?" Well, they're not innovating, mate. Their solution going forward is to increase block sizes. Now, if it is to reach mass adoption, that means that to get 100,000 transactions per second, the miners in Bitcoin Cash will be adding a 1 terabyte hard drive every 5 hours. That's not sustainable. That's not doable. So while their ambition is to stay as close to the original Satoshi white paper as possible and only scale by increasing block sizes, I can't see that as a long-term solution to what we're trying to achieve in the crypto economy. So yeah, that's why I don't like it. Yeah, you can use OBS as well, said Jao. Yeah, I couldn't figure that out, man. I got OBS and I use it for like recording pre-recorded videos, but for the live stream, I can't figure out how to get it to overlay. Otherwise, I could have your chat up here and everything, and it'd be really actually decent. Our guy said, never fear the market. Green days are good, red days are better. You workstation desk set up with soft light boxes on the corner of the up-down desk. I don't know what you're talking about. Sean Duff, thoughts on blockchain LLC purchase on 70K acres in NV? Blockchain LLC purchase. I'm not familiar with the term, Sean Duff. Blockchain LLC purchase on 70 acres in NV. I'm guessing you're talking about an actual, like a real world property purchase that has happened on the blockchain with one of the currencies. Is that what you're talking about? I mean, 70,000 acres in NV is, well, I don't know the abbreviation NV. As you can probably tell from the accent, I'm from Australia, and that one's not an Australian abbreviation of a state or city here. Is that what you're talking about, Sean? Let me know, man. I'm just catching up with the live chat. Sorry that I'm a bit behind. Michael Jordan said, I'm not sure this market will ever recover. It's over, sell. A lot of people were saying the thing, same thing, Michael Jordan, back when it went from 125 down to 75. And it might have even been a bit higher than that. So it's about 40, 50% retracement. Now, the reality is that blockchain technology is not going anywhere. What form it's actually going to enter our lives in, I'm not sure. It could be centralized, and everything we've been backing could be shut down by governments. But I think people would fight against that because, I mean, a lot of these things don't threaten actual, like a lot of projects, like let's take Steam, for example, steamit.com. How is that threatening national currencies? It's not. So I can understand them wanting to tighten the screws on currency-based blockchain projects like Bitcoin, like Litecoin, like PIVX, like, these currency-based, like these currency actual coins acting as currencies. But I can't ever see them shutting down blockchain technology altogether. There's just no basis for it. So no, not all over, mate. A lot of ICOs are cheap. Power Ledger from Australia, says Carly Shadow. Yeah, I got a bit of Power Ledger. I did it just as a patriotic thing, if I'm being honest, Carly, I actually called it as overpriced a little bit when it was getting up there. But, as we get closer towards 2019, because that's when they're likely to actually have a working blockchain and a working product, according to the roadmap, then we can start to, realise these valuations that we've had and more, because the Australian energy market's ripe for something like this. It is already primed for something like this. So yeah, I think they can do well. But Carly, I just wanted to speak to that actually. There was a lot of, Power Ledger got a grant from the Australian government, an innovations grant. Now that's not unusual in this country. We actually have innovation grants that anyone can apply for. So that was really overhyped about how much backing and how much the Australian government was behind Power Ledger. It was kind of overhyped. It wasn't like the Australian government were out putting Power Ledger signs up all over the place. You've got to remember that the traditional energy providers in this country are still massive players with a lot of control. So they're not going to be super fond of a decentralized energy market, which takes away some of their market share. So it's still a fight ahead of us. But yeah, that was really overhyped how much the Australian government were backing them. So you just got to be careful with stuff like that. Okay, NV's Nevada. Thanks, guys. Cool. Intercept true. I'm sending messages asking for news. They now answer every time because I warn them. What are you guys talking about? Nazir Razuli's in. Neo and Trinity are going to take over this year. I think they'll do well. I had Neo in my top 5, Nazir, for the year, and it's done me well so far. Even after the dip, I'm still up for the year. Pretty sure. Anyway, I got most of mine at around $35. I got most of mine around $1.30. Then I dumped it at 10. Had to buy it back at 35. Anyway, lesson learned. Never dump the whole bag, especially in a project that you like. Yeah, cool. I'll give it a try, yeah. Jazz just saying my computer setup's probably fine for using OBS now. It's just my last computer thing that was letting me down. Blockchain LLC will just be a company name. I haven't heard of it. No, I haven't, Shaquille. Shaquille's asking about AI cryptos. The two that I hear a lot about are Deep Brain Chain and Singularity Net, but I haven't heard of any new ones recently. There certainly could be. Stand desk, my companion says. I need to get back into shape so I can take a passport KYC photo like you. Oh man, that's a me out of shape in off season for competition, dude. But Ethercept, I do where I do my coin sorting for my actual, my real world coins. I stand. I've got a standing station, and I'll be there for hours at a time. And I'll try to move, keep the legs moving, shuffle around a bit. But yeah, man, standing while you work is really good for your fitness. They say sitting's the new smoking, but in terms of its health effect. Yeah, Kev said I'm still at 4x, 5x gains from last year, so I'm not worried. Okay, a mysterious blockchain company just bought 62% of 162 square mile industrial park near Reno, Nevada. That's 67,000 acres. That's awesome. Kev said, yeah, but being down sucks. Yeah, man, it does. It's opportunity though, Kev. If you got some capital put aside, man, and if you don't, you just wait it out. No, you're sitting there staring at the screen. I watched market cap never recovers. There you go. Watch market cap never recovers. Yeah, that sounds cool. Ethercept said sounds like something you might be doing for solar, like a mining farm, like a solar mining farm. Yeah, I was talking to Wilkie about doing that in Australia, and then we realised we had no technical ability whatsoever. The utility blockchain can provide isn't going anywhere. This is Joseph Gunnier, but it will be replaced by DAG. The byte ball will break the blockchain and roll over everything. I disagree. Is PIVX reasonable price at $5.81? Naughty-o. I don't comment on PIVX prices, man. Sorry. Comparative to all-time highs, absolutely. It's a lot cheaper. Steemit is the most active blockchain. Facts. And with more users besides currencies, DTube, YouTube, DSound, SoundCloud, Steemit, Social Network, DMania, 9gag. Yeah, no, Steemit's, I always said it was undervalued, yeah. You knew that. I knew that. We've made some good money by being bloggers over there. I haven't been real active lately though, man. I haven't even been on there for a while, so I've got to get back into getting that sorted out. Power Ledger for a national thing, I would too. It's beyond national borders, their team in progress. Yeah, for sure. But, it's Australian-based and also with an actual need for it, Carly, in Australia, because our energy is expensive here. And yet we have, I think per capita, we have one of the largest land spaces per person. We got our land in Australia is same size as the US mainland, right? Take out Hawaii and Alaska, and ours landmass in Australia is the same size as the US. And we got 25 million people, not 300 million. So we got a lot of room here and a lot of sun. So yeah, I think that we should be exporting solar power. Actually, Elon Musk proposed it. Said Australia should be exporting electricity, not in the form of coal, in the form of cells, as in Tesla cells, to Asia, because we feed them so much of their electricity needs at the moment through our coal production. But our coal mining stuffs up our reef and our environment. So perhaps we'd be better at just using the massive parts of arid land that we have in the center of the country where no one lives, or very, very few people, and not only supplying ourselves with sustainable, environmentally friendly power, but also providing Asia with that. I think it's a cool idea. Fish, did you look at Matrix IA Network? No, I didn't, Joe. I've hardly had a chance to look at anything lately, man. Blockchain LLC company is David and Jeff Burns. Bought 70 acres in Nevada. Yeah, cool. Not on the blockchain, but using fiat, Google blockchain LLC.com. Cool. That's sweet, man. Thanks for the info. Seb's in. How you going, Seb? Sorry, I sent Xiao 2 monitors months ago, but been stuck in customs. They're screwing around. Oh man, you should have seen what I had to go through in Sri Lanka Ethercept. It was insane, man. The Telecommunications Regulatory Commission over there wanted to check all the telephone equipment I was bringing in to run a call center to make sure it wasn't going to be used in terrorism. And I was like, okay. And this was a long time ago, and I hope I'm not getting myself banned from the country, but everything worked in bribes back in those days, man. So literally your approval form would be sitting on the second floor of the government building, and it needs to go to the third floor for approval from the next person. And you pretty much got to pay the guy on the second floor to walk up a flight of stairs, drop it on the third guy's desk. Nightmare. It was very, very eye-opening to me. I believe it's, I'm going to try and keep myself welcome to the country and say I believe it's actually changed a lot under the new government. But when I was first going there, everything was done in bribes, man. It's just the way it was. Has anybody else been collecting the airdrops and fork coins of Bitcoin? I think I'm approaching 2 Bitcoins for every 1 Bitcoin. Wow. That's crazy. Chronicus. Singularity Net is at sub ICO sale prices. Thanks, Kev. That's good, man. That's good. Like that's a good, good price point to start with. It's actually cheaper than you could have got it at ICO. A lot of successful ICOs, you never see it cheaper. Like you're never going to. I know Icon's dropped, but you're not going to see it at what we got it at ICO. We got it at 10 cents. It's now $5 something. That's still 50x. So a lot of ICOs that are really successful, you never actually see them get below that price again. So if you can pick up one that you're bullish on, maybe you missed out at ICO, and it does pop below that ICO price, that can be buy time. I just haven't had a look into Singularity Net though, dude. So I can't really just go buy it based on price. I do like the idea of having AI on the blockchain though, or at least it being decentralized. I think that's important. 1 million transaction per second, intelligent contracts, mixed POS, POW consensus, high risk. Thanks, Joe. And Joe was referring to Matrix IA network. For anyone interested in having a look. Just saw more fear, uncertainty, and doubt from the media in the UK. Crypto is a bubble, and it's mostly used by criminals. Yeah, Seb, I've heard that so many times, man. So many times. You could make the argument for cash. You could make that argument for cash. Am I wrong? So I can definitely make the argument that fiat currency is a bubble. That will play out. Whether it's in my lifetime or not, I don't know. But it's not sustainable. We've been through this many, many times on the show before about the fractional reserve banking system. And the also the interest that you're meant to pay on a principal that's released, and that interest is never released into the economy. Therefore, the debt for the world cannot be repaid. Impossible. Mathematically impossible. So that house of cards does come falling down. It's just a matter of when. Is it 5 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, 500 years? I got no idea. As long as we can keep increasing our consumption and increasing our population, it can keep going. But on a finite planet, that can't happen. So we'll see. Might happen in my lifetime, might not. Syndicator is AI. It's one that's held strong over the past 2 weeks. Thanks, Noddio. Kev said, I'm holding BC. My positions are too awesome. Syndicator has held pretty well through all this, said Ethercept. I bought it at 5 cents, sold it at 30 cents. Just keeping up, guys. Sorry. Yeah, fill the desert with solar panels. JP O'Brien, we could power the world if we did that. I'm serious. We've got enough land here. Oh, yeah. Dash is cheap. Yeah. I mean, historically, yes. Carly Shadow, I think Dash has good technology, solid technology. It's always difficult for me to speak about Dash without sounding like I'm a whinging little bitch. That's the truth, because I'm with PIVX. I'm on the PIVX team. And we forked from Dash. Now, we did that for a reason. The consensus model, the governance model wasn't what a lot of the people who founded PIVX really saw as decentralized, as a really sticking to the mantra of blockchain, if you like. So they forked, came up with PIVX, came up with a governance model that allowed the community to decide on the direction of the coin, and also that allowed for staking at lower levels, so not to exclude everyone else. See, that's my biggest problem with Dash, is you need 1,000 coins to start earning the residual income. And if you are not one of those 1,000 coin holders, you are essentially just like building a network that the rich are benefiting from, or at least getting the most benefit from, because they can afford, a Dash is $580 a coin at the moment. You need 1,000 of them to actually start generating a residual income. And that's $580,000. Most people don't have that sort of cheddar. So whilst I think it's probably a reasonable coin price at the moment, I think there are plenty of good options for if you've got 580K, for sure, okay? But I do think it's also, it's fairly corporate and fairly centralized in that. Evan Duffield owns a lot of Dash. Last time I checked, it was a substantial amount of the overall supply. That's one concern. But yeah, the biggest concern for me is it doesn't allow everyone to have a chance. You would have to have $580,000 to actually be getting full use of the Dash coin in generating a residual income for yourself. So whilst I think it's great technology, whilst I think they've made excellent ground in the corporate world, I do have other coins that I prefer, without wanting to sound like a whinging bitch. I've got mad respect for the Dash team, how well they've done in terms of their marketing and being, and also the protocol. Obviously, the protocol is brilliant, or we wouldn't have used it and forked from it in the first place. So yeah, I think Dash has got a lot of promise, but it's one that I can find other coins that I'm more interested in. But yeah, still think it's great. Still think it's good technology. Do you think the release of LightPay will be a big move for LTC? Shed Shaquille Ahmed. I think Litecoin is going to have to continue to innovate, continue with atomic swaps, continue with, like Shaquille mentioned, the release of LightPay, which I must admit ignorance to. I haven't read up on it yet. But what's it, using the Lightning Network or something like that, Shaquille? In any case, I think they will have to continue to innovate, because it was a long time touted as the successor for Bitcoin. But that was based on its scalability and its speed and its low transaction cost. And if SegWit plus Lightning Network allows for Bitcoin to scale to a point that Litecoin no longer carries any advantage over Bitcoin, that's danger time for Litecoin, in my opinion. Just my opinion. We'll see what happens in that space. It's interesting. Best thing, Hourglass has picked up almost 1,000 icon. Well done, man. Best thing over the past 3 weeks would have been to have bought loads of ICOs, so your dollars wouldn't have been prone to all the FUD drops, etc. Would have been neutral. Love hindsight, yeah. Yeah, hindsight trading's easy. Naughty-8, you're right, man. ICX or EOS, says Carly Shadow. Oh, sorry, Carly Shadow. And Naughty-O has said EOS. Hourglass has said ICX. Can I weigh in? I'm going to go with ICX because they've got mainnet already launched, and they've already announced over 5 applications to be released on the network this year. EOS haven't released a mainnet yet, have they? June, right, for EOS. So until EOS show us what they've got, I'm going to go with ICX. That can change, though. We'll see what happens when EOS release and what applications are actually going to be released on top of the EOS platform. But for me, I'm going with Hourglass on this one. And yes, I do hold a massive bag of ICX, and I hold no EOS. So, obviously that's consistent with the statement I just made. I made that decision and that choice before that question just then. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Fill the desert with solar panels. Why aren't you in the Munching Surf Fish show? Oh, man, yeah, it's just a bit like it's a bit gloomy out there today. I'll probably get out after this. There's been swell, which is nice. A lot of the pros are in town at the moment as well, and that's when, like, I don't know, it's just you get the pros in town, and then you get people following the world tour or whatever, and it's just a circus. Everyone wants to prove themselves in front of a pro, and I'm just like, oh god, I would hate to be a touring pro for that reason. It's like people are always on top of you, always wanting to try and take your waves to say, oh, I got this wave in front of, you know, Kelly Slater or John Florence or whatever. I actually experienced it myself in Chile. When, don't get me wrong, love Akike and love the people there, but I was hassled so hard in the surf over there because I was wearing a, you know, competitor's wristband to get me in and out of the event site. So when I'd go free surfing to train or to warm up or whatever, or just to go for a surf, I'd still have my band on because you had to keep it on for the whole event. You only got one band to stop people coming into the competitors section. And yeah, people would just see that band and it was like a license to just paddle around me as hard as they could and take every wave I was looking at. And I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah, so when the Quickie Pro is coming to town, which is sort of now through till, it actually doesn't start until March, but a lot of people start to make their way into town now, a lot of the pros and a lot of the people who follow the tour because it's the first event come hang out in Cooley for a month. And so the points in that are just like, it's a bit crazy with people all puffing their chests out. So I'll probably go down to like Lennox Heads or Cabarita or something and get away from the crowds and go for a cruise down south. Because that's the funny thing. Those waves are brilliant and everyone wants to surf Snapper Rocks. Why? Because, don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic wave, but there are plenty of fantastic waves down the southern coast and not that far from here, like half an hour drive. And everyone just wants to surf Snapper, so you get 300 people out there, 1,000 people. It's ridiculous some days. It's not safe anymore. That's the problem with that many surfboards going through the water. Okay, rant over. The Koreans don't have access to ICX yet, and how is that a factor? ICX has the team. Yeah, I think it's definitely a factor, Hourglass. I mean, the savvy Koreans will have access to it, man, 100%. Same way as the savvy Chinese will have had ways to get crypto, even though they've had restrictions placed on them. Doesn't mean their money won't come into the market at all. It just means that it will be, you know, will stop some people, but for the really savvy investors and those absolutely determined to get their money into crypto, they will find a way. Rayblocks has changed to Nano now, has it, on Binance? Thanks, Nadia. Interesting. Jao said after Korean regulations, they've all been sorted out. ICX will be listed for sure. Yeah, Seb doesn't think we've seen it pump yet from Korea either. We could go check the trade volumes on it to get a good look at that. I'm so far behind on chat. I don't know how I get this far behind. So I'm sorry if I've missed anyone. You're going to need to put your comments back in. Yeah, I'll do one soon, Kurt. I've never been that big on self-promoting my bodyboarding, man. Like even anyway, yeah, I do have to do it though. You're right. I will bring out a video soon, man. There's a few clips and stuff of me online and that, but I've never actually put out my own video or anything. So I guess that's something I could do over the next few months. try and get some of the boys to come out and get some good sessions in, to do some stuff with the local Debo guys. Xiao said Lisk has been pretty good in this market. I'm wondering how long it's going to take someone to use a smart contract and a virtual machine to allow you to stake any proof of stake coin in the cloud. To allow you to stake any proof of stake coin in the cloud. You got a glitch going on, Chronicus. Reboot yourself, man. Yeah, no, I thought the same. You know what I actually thought, Chronicus? How long is it going to take for an exchange to say, hey, listen, part of our token holders' benefits is the residual income from staking tokens, proof of stake tokens. We're actually going to run them as proof of stake tokens in our wallets for the exchange, earning residual income. And we're going to pay that back to token holders of the exchange, giving you even more reason to hold Binance coin, KuCoin shares, whatever it might be. Actively, the exchanges actively stake the coins that are sitting there. I think that would be a really good idea. Got listed on CoinFlyer and pumped 30%, sold, and now I can rebuy a lot cheaper. That's the game, Zhao. Well done, sir. Shaquille Ahmed. LightPay will allow any merchant that accepts Visa to accept Litecoin through the LightPay wallet. It instantly converts LTC into fiat, eliminating risk of price change once payment has been made. Yep, cool. It's things like that that we need, Shaquille, in the economy, because we've got to baby step it, man. We've got to baby step it. We've got to baby step these people who've got no interest in crypto and don't even like it. We've got to baby step them in. Yeah. So I like that. I like that. You know, it wasn't easy to get. Nothing's been, no transition of money, no historical transition of one use of money to another has ever been easy. It's never been like, oh, okay, cool, so we're using that now, done. Doesn't happen like that. It takes years and years and years and years. So we've actually been pretty quick when it comes to blockchain. If you look at the history of changing from different types of money and how long it's taken society to accept that as a whole, in terms of, you know, stock to precious metals to actual coins to paper to plastic and digital economy. I still remember the first time I ordered something over the internet. I was 16 or 17 years old, so my credit card was linked to my dad's account, and my dad just cancelled it flat out. Said it wasn't safe, it was stupid, what was I doing? I was going to get this done and that done. I tried to explain to him that even with my lack of knowledge, I said, look, I've read up on it, and the computer's more secure than doing it over the phone. Oh, bullshit. I said, no, you're just saying bullshit because you don't understand it. So, yeah, I mean, it takes society a while to adapt to anything new, whether it be in finance or really any sector of our lives. People are not great at accepting change. But yeah, I think that's critical, and that'll be good, Shaquille Ahmed. I think that's you know how I was saying they're going to have to continue to innovate to stay in with Bitcoin, since Bitcoin are now innovating to sort of encroach on their market in terms of speed and like transaction costs. I think that's brilliant. There's a great one right there. For the merchants, it's going to go bang, Litecoin straight into fiat, so you've got no risk. Brilliant. Love it. Well done to the Litecoin team. Crypto Chronicus, and then you could actually have people pull funds into a smart contract and get them the minimum amount you need to stake. Yeah. There's lots of things you can do with like staking pools and things like that. Nodio, I bought a heap of Rise this morning, Ethercept at 22. Thought that was the bottom. I thought still dropping that. I think Rise is sort of a, I don't know, it's a bit of a coin flip for me. If they have good applications released on top of it, there's no reason they can't do well. It's based on Lisk protocol. They forked off Lisk, so there's no reason they can't do well if they can attract the right applications to be built on top of the network. You know, it's one with plenty of potential. Like, it's a high risk, high reward one, right? They could get no one building on top of them because everyone wants to build on top of Rise and Neo and all these other ones up the top. Neo and Ethereum and Lisk and all these ones up the top. But it only takes a couple of good apps to be released on top of Rise, and the network will gain a lot more exposure. So we'll see what happens with that one. I don't mind it though. Bill, hi mate, how's it going? I'm going well, mate. I think it will take a while, only because of the fight that they do against cryptocurrency, but seems fake news and stuff will not work at the end. No, I agree, Bill. It's gonna, like, that is a good point that you make though. Fake news, rumors drive this economy. Like, if I was to ask any of you, we have seen over 50% retracement from all-time highs to where we're sitting now. Okay? From 825 billion market cap to where we're sitting now is 50% reduction in what the value being given to the crypto economy is. What has changed in the technology? How is the technology now less effective than it was 3 months ago? It's not. If anything, it's more effective because it's been continued to be developed. What's changed is political. What's changed is countries' climates and their feelings towards crypto, and not countries, the governments. So, no, the technology is still good. Simple as that. And so it could have been overvalued, you know, got a little overhyped when seriously the real world use cases were limited for what was a, you know, we were getting Bitcoin at 20 grand, but how many places could you spend it? And how well could you spend it when there's a $20 transaction fee sometimes? So yeah, we were overpriced for where we were. But now we're getting to a point where we've almost gone the other way because we've got Lightning Network and SegWit coming in. Once they start actually spreading out and covering the vast majority of the Bitcoin network, and fast and low-cost transactions are just normal, then that will encourage its acceptance in real-world situations as well, which is what is appropriate to give its value to, how we can spend it, how we can use that to, to buy the things we need or want. Nodio, they certainly might have been. Nodio's referring to my story about the wristbands in Chile and said, I thought those wristbands were for hospital escapees. It is possible that I was never a bodyboarder and never in the World Championships, and the whole thing was a mental episode. Stranger things have happened. Kurt said you should come to Ireland. There are loads of empty slabs about, and a few of the best big wave surfers in the world too, man. My brothers, I can't remember their name. They live out on that. They live like really hippie style. So they live in a community, make their own food and that, but they're mad surfers, big wave. A lot of bodyboarders over there because it's like slabs, right? In Ireland, that's what I've been told, is that you can't really surf stand up on a lot of these waves. They're just slabbing onto it. Yeah. No, it looks sick, man. I'd love to come over to Ireland. I never got over there. I lived in Manchester for a bit, but never got over to Ireland. JP O'Brien said, let's rob a bank and buy crypto. Yeah, there's more big sharks down past Fingal for sure, Nodio. Generally speaking, the further south you get, at least in the northern part of New South Wales, you're going to get more shark activity. Byron Bay's a marine park, so there's no culling or netting of sharks in that area. So around there, shark sightings can be fairly prolific, and shark encounters. 2 years ago, a guy got his legs clean taken off. It was messed up. He died pretty much instantly. Surfing at Byron. So there's that many attacks in that space of 12 months. It was scary. But yeah, knock on wood, it's been a pretty good summer for us this year. See, the sharks follow the whales' migratory patterns. So when the whales are moving north and south, it's spectacular, it's beautiful, but the sharks are around as well. Kurt said there's never over 10 surfers out. Oh, uncrowded surf, bro. I'm on the Gold Coast. Like, Snapper Rocks is arguably the most crowded wave in the world. Kelly Slater said it is. So it's ridiculous. I haven't been to Hawaii, so I can't comment. I hear Hawaii pipeline can be pretty bad as well. But Snapper Rocks is insane, especially when I grew up here. Like, I grew up surfing these waves from when I was 5 years old. So to be surfing it from 20 people back in the day when Gold Coast was a sleepy little surf town, certainly wasn't the sixth biggest city in Australia. Surfing it with 20, 30 people that I pretty much knew, to 300, 400 strangers that are running over me, yelling at me, and I'm like, dude, I've been surfing here for 30 years. Take it easy. Yeah, it's pretty hectic out there. I honestly recommend for anyone coming to this part of the world to go a bit further south. Like, if you actually want to do some serious surfing, don't even bother with Snapper Rocks and Kira and all that. It's just too crowded where I live now. Get south. Anyway, back onto crypto. Your thoughts on Omasco, SDK staking coming. Kiwi crypto coins. How are you, mate? Yeah, I like Omasco. I got a bit of Omasco. Zhao put it in his top 10, I think, for 2018. He's pretty bullish on it. I don't know how much Vitalik's got to do over there these days. I don't know how much he's involved with that project anymore. That's a big factor for me on Omasco, because I do like Vitalik. And I think that his influence in the economy can't be understated. And if he's heavily involved in the Omasco project, it certainly adds value to it. I haven't been keeping a close eye on the news coming out, though, recently for Omasco, Kiwi crypto coins. So I can't really comment on in I guess the last 2 months, I haven't really kept up on the news on Omasco. Joseph Garnier, all right, guys, I got Google Hangouts working and I can go live. Yes. Wait, Dr. Biteballs, big Biteballs. Do you want to come on the show tomorrow? I don't want to do it today because I'm about to check out, but if you want to do it tomorrow, we can have a chat then. Come on, we'll just chat about whatever. That's what I do most days. Superheart.org is in. Everything will be worth 5x as much if you buy it now. Buy Tron LTC, IOST, Ether, and BTC now. I agree with some of them. Yeah, I think some of them, like, I think there's certainly potential for 5x in individual coins. I don't think the whole market will 5x because I think the market's evolving. I think the market's maturing, and I think the market's getting more informed. And I think the days of backing things like BitConnect and DevoreCoin and garbage, hopefully, are starting to limit a little bit. And most of the money will flow into those projects that actually have a good foundation and a good long-term plan. So I don't think everything will 5x. I think a lot of this stuff will get shaken out violently over the next 12 months. But the good stuff, yeah, definitely. 5x could be even conservative. Superheart.org on the good projects. 5x could be conservative. I could see coins doing 10x over this year, some of these coins. We'll see what happens. Oh, you want to know something? That's a sick question. You want to know something? I've never surfed South Australia. How bad's that? Who asked me that question? It's just skipped around. Oh, Backyard Charizard. Quick question, favourite wave spot in South Australia? Man, I've never surfed South Oz. How bad's that? Rob Blorey, one of the first Australian bodyboarders, who's just a shredder. Underground. Oh, we could go. We're not doing it. Oh, no. I'll show you one of his videos one day. The dude shreds. He lives just down at Kingscliff, and he's a legend. Him and Matt Brocky did a pretty epic trip. Matt Brocky, the photographer, down to South Australia and got some waves off the desert there. They're surfing like 10, 12 hours away from any hospitals or anything on Mad Reef, and great whites the size of buses swimming past them, but they got some mad footage, like crazy good. So I'd love to go and surf South Australia. Theo Hinchliff and Theo and Jasper Hinchliff went down there last year, and Nick Omerod was down there, and Omerod got busted up, like ruptured his spleen or something, did something to his spine, punctured a lung. It was full on, like copped an absolute beating. And Jasper, the dude got helicoptered out. He was absolutely messed up, and Jasper jumped on the very next wave. Absolute bomb goes, you. So yeah, those boys are pretty mad. But no, man, I haven't surfed South Oz. It's like one of the. Obviously, I've never surfed Northern Territory, given there's no surf there. But I've surfed Western Australia, New South Wales, Victoria, and Queensland, but I've never surfed South Oz. So on the bucket list for sure. Dry goods spell weather is in late. That's interesting. Nodio said, just had a look at Rise on Bittrex. They're delisting it on February 9th. I'll have to keep an eye on that because I've got some Rise over there. I have to move it. Obviously being dumped by people who can't hold it. Yeah, that's a really good point, Nodio. That will cause people who don't have secondary exchanges or aren't going to hold it in a main wallet to go, nah, I'll just get rid of it then. It's too hard. At least a few people. So good point. They're even going to light pay cards where you can use them at any ATM machine. Okay, that's for Litecoin. Thanks, Shaquille. Legend. Xiao said, Bilbo, I think it's important to get out weak hands and phone my buyers. We need quality investors, not quantity. Quantity is when bubble pops. Laugh out loud. Yeah, guys, like, if there's any doubt, that let's just think about this, all right, for next time, because there will be a next time. We will get a massive bull run again, and it'll get overheated again. And let's think about it. When we see dickheads like those guys from JR Garage making videos about cryptocurrency, it's time to sell. Serious, right? That's when you're getting to stages of it's just being overheated, when anyone can sit on here and make a video and become an expert because they said ADA is doing everything. So yeah, when we get to a stage where we've got dickheads like that making crypto videos, I say we bail. Like, just for a little bit, take some money off the table. Kurt's a good question, man. I often think that the confidence is going to take. Kurt's just asked, when do you think it's going to come back? Look, it's a tough one. I think traditional markets, when there's a major shakeout of confidence like this, the restoration of market prices and market sentiment and the market caps is usually pretty slow and steady. They call it upper ladder. What is it? Upper ladder down off a cliff, or upper staircase off a cliff. And that's a bit how this market works. It can be a bit of a slow, gradual recovery compared to the violent dips. Like even though the bull runs are excessive in this market, the dips are still violent and quick, right? So I think that scares people when you see action like that, when it's tick, 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 you know what I mean? Tick, 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 tick. I think that sort of action scares people a little bit. So I think it'll be a major shakeout of confidence, and I think it'll be slow to restore, but I don't mind that, man, because I think when you get a situation where you're making sort of you're just cruising along at 1% a day or a little bit less even, it's just constantly ticking over nicely, you have a far better chance of actually sustaining that growth than what we saw in December, which has led to the problem in January, at least part of it. So when do I think, Kurt, it's so hard to tell. The funny thing is that confidence has restored quicker to this market than what I've seen in markets historically. So I'd give you some predictions I heard from someone came in the stream yesterday and said the cliff high said 13,000 by the end of February, which I think is a massive call. And then going on to, would he say 50 or 60,000 by the end of the year? I think they're both big calls for Bitcoin itself, that is. It's interesting that the market has somewhat developed a correlating relationship, overall market corrections at the moment and rebuilding. That, like, you go and look in the 1 hour column, because I've been doing that just to see if I can find a bottoming out point, and it's all running red or green. It's not, scattered all over the place and each coin being assessed on its individual merit. The whole market's been assessed as one at the moment. And in times like that, that's when I like to stock up on the coins that I really see as good value. Now, a couple that I can not confidently say are going to go up, but like they have a revenue stream, is the exchange coins, Wax token, that is that video game, like anything that actually has a revenue stream. You got to think about that. Why would it now be worth less when it can still generate revenue? And presumably at the same rate, if not higher than it has previously, because it's only just been built. So, yeah, I like coins that actually can provide, do provide a real world revenue stream, and that value is installed in the token. And so I say like KuCoin shares, Binance Coin, Wax. There's plenty of them out there that do actually have like real world revenues. I think that's the best way to go at the moment. Because if everything else in crypto was to crash a bit, presumably those platforms aren't going to die altogether, because they do have a revenue stream and people are actively using them. Some cryptos don't have a revenue stream, and that's like, oh, well, if it doesn't have revenue coming in, how can that be sustained? And that is a question. But the ones that do actually have fiat coming into their game, like a revenue stream, I don't they can fail in the regular ways businesses fail, but I don't see them failing just because blockchain becomes unpopular. True trading is doing only bad, I think, to the value of any coin. But this way that happens, I think, took many of them out already. And like you say, will stay the quality investors now that they will learn. Yeah, well, people will have overcapitalized Bill as well. That's the thing. You learn hard lessons in this game. People who have overcapitalized now will be forced to sell at a loss because they need that money. And that was silly. Yeah, Nodio said Rise was at a high of $1.54. So I thought 22 cents was was a good point to get in. I think it's fine to look at historical historical price points to a degree. You've got to remember that when you look at historical highs, you've got to see how long it was sustained for as well. Did it sit at $1.54 for 3 days before it started to fade down, or was it a quick spike up there and then boom back to $1 and then slowly fading down? Because that does make a difference. How much volume was traded at that $1.54? How much liquidity is there at $1.54? That's super important. Super important. Picked up a bag of ADA at 30 cents today. Those academics are ranked #1 in terms of GitHub coding activity. That doesn't surprise me, actually, Seb. That's cool. The big unknown in crypto is how good or how shit the dApps will be in the short to medium term? Yeah, it's a massive unknown, JP O'Brien, and a good point. And how the scalability crisis that the blockchain industry is currently facing, how much is that affecting the actual applications that are being built on top and limiting new applications being built because the scalability is simply not there to run applications that require a much more scalable system than what's currently being provided in the crypto economy. Yeah, Joe, that's a good point. Everyone has to understand market caps are fake. Net inflow and outflow. Apparently, only 6 billion of Bitcoin has been bought when it was a $300 billion currency. It's a really good point, man. The whole market is fake. It's an illusion. David Copperfield invented it, not you. Yeah. Well, it's all. Yeah, you guys are right. It's like it's the best indicator we can use to keep relative to how the acceptance, the adoptance of this technology is going as a whole. It's the best metric we have, realistically. Jao said, if you don't press the like button, the market will not recover. I agree. I'm only joking. All the news with the crypto sector is bullish, new developments and improvements being implemented all the time. The only bad news is coming from outside the sector. Yep, absolutely agree, Seb. Having said that, it is, but when you're talking about governments and financial sectors, it is sectors that can affect the crypto economy, for sure. But yeah, I agree, man. The tech's improving, right? So therefore, it should be more valuable. Just reading this, Joe stirred the pot with his comment, and Bill said, so are you saying that Ripple and Ethereum with big companies behind are showing fake market caps? And JP O'Brien said, the other side of your point is there are far too many blind faith holders. Yeah, that's true. I'm one of them half the time. Seb Fox, exactly. Bad news, fake news. Everyone that doesn't understand has opinions. Laugh out loud, usually old economists. No, I'm not on Instagram, Kurt. I was never in social media at all, man, until 2015. Then I got made to by Surfing Australia. My favourite people in the world. Love you guys, Surfing Australia. That made me feel sick even saying it. Bunch of washed up has-beens that can't run a business. Zhao. JP O'Brien said cult mentality. Yeah, man. That's true. I've seen it, JP O'Brien. I've seen it in a couple of coins. And it's quite often these ones that, like, honestly, this is why JP O'Brien, I tend to stay away from those coins that are aggressively shilled because I don't want to get into a cult. I don't want to be in trouble if I'm going to sell. I experienced that with Chaincoin back when it went on its pump, and I could have made $14,000 in 48 hours. And I didn't because I was saying strong to the movement while everyone else was dumping the shit out of it onto me. And I was just like, yeah, when I actually, like, I came out and did some videos on that, and Jao said, can we take them off your bloody YouTube channel? I said, oh, I don't really care. I did it, so why try and hide from it? And anyway, I came out after accepting a position with PIVX and came out in dressed head to toe in PIVX gear and told the Chaincoin community what they needed to do to build an actual business. Said, you guys can't just be talking about buy and sell walls. That's actually illegal. That's market manipulation. So what you need to be doing is getting developers, attracting this, doing this, getting set up in businesses, blah, 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 blah. Man, I got so much hate over that. And I could only describe it as cult mentality because I'm like, there's nothing that I've said that's wrong there. These are the things that you need to do to improve the opportunity, like the chances of success going forward. Pumping prices is not going to work. You need to develop. And I got shot down so hard, and I can only describe it as a cult-like sort of grilling, man, whereas, like, I'm not saying anything wrong. Like, it's factual. But shit, I got hammered. Got called a stupid Aussie fudder who should go and get eaten by a shark. So you know what I did? The next day I paddled over to Stradbroke Island. I went, all right, I'll give it a go. And I took my GoPro over and said, this is for the person who wanted me to get eaten by a shark. And I paddled over to Straddy Island and surfed there. It's one of the sharkier places around. Here in the USA, Square released the Bitcoin feature on their Cash app for everyone. Cool. Sweet. Mate, I think to buy some Litecoin, also on Ethereum, but for long term only. What do you think is a good price already? Right? Did you hold any of it? If I had to pick out a Litecoin and Ethereum at the moment, I'd take Ethereum. Out of the top three, out of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, I'd take Ethereum at the moment. That's, or not the top three, but out of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, let's say the three that are available on Coinbase, I'd take Ethereum still. Still like that 5-to-1 ratio one day, Ethereum to Bitcoin. I'm going to keep saying it until it happens. Oh, did they really? eBay just parted ways with PayPal. Don't they own PayPal? eBay? I'm sure eBay own PayPal, don't they? This is an obvious sign. Ripple is becoming more decentralized than Bitcoin. Laugh out loud. How is that happening? Who said Ripple is becoming more decentralized? Oh, yeah. No, yeah. You were talking about those JR Garage guys. Yeah, no, stupid. Sorry, I don't like to call people stupid, but it was. Nodio said, I watched a vid this morning of a young English guy. He was bagging the shit out of JR Garage doing a video. He was good. Went right through how much those clowns didn't know about anything. Yeah, who else did that? Doug Polk did a scathing review of their crypto knowledge. It was fair enough too. I don't claim to be like an expert, but I feel like I know enough to hold a discussion, and I don't think those guys did, and I don't think what they did was responsible either. Speaking of responsible, this is not financial advice; it's for entertainment and information purposes only. William Yates, as the US stock market begins to decline next week, how will that affect cryptos? It's a really interesting point, William. A lot of people have been trying to establish like correlating and inverse relationships between old world economics and new world economics. So we talk about things like the stock market, we talk about things like commodity prices, and we also look at safe haven fiat currencies like the Japanese yen and Swiss franc to see how that in times of economic or political turmoil, the market is actually reacting to cryptocurrency, and whether that's actually now being seen as a safe haven place. And I think to some degree it is, but I also think it's really, really difficult to pick up an exact, like to define that relationship at this stage, because our economy is still super volatile as it's in its infancy and there's nowhere near the market and the cap it needs to be to avoid this sort of volatility. So how will it affect cryptos as stocks decline? For starters, I didn't realize stocks were going to be on the decline. I had heard it had been overheated for a long time, William Yates, so it makes sense that it would be due for a correction. People could look for other forms of investment. So you could see a rise in your precious metals, gold and silver, and you could see potentially a rise in people moving some investment capital into crypto as well. I'm not sure, man. That's a really good question. Really good question. Gee, I said I hope they come into crypto, and Yatesy said, yeah, me too. That was about Cliff Highfisher. He said 13,800 at the end of Feb, then 60K by the end of April. That's right. Reasons there is millions of people about to join the market. Ask JMac too. Don't interrupt if he's eating. So many branches on ADA though. Only one successful. Bit of an experiment and a bit of vaporware at the moment, says Joe. Joe, you and I have a similar opinion on that. I still think it can. I think it can warrant these prices are much higher. I just like to see some mainnets running and that sort of thing. XRP to the moon, $4. In their dreams, die you banks. Oh, what's XRP right now? I look forward to getting paid for my personal data. Oh, that makes more sense that it was data. Yeah, there's a couple of projects looking at that actually. Granicus, what's XRP at right now? Let me have a look, dude. Why do you care? I didn't figure you for an XRP investor, dude. There's plenty of bargains on at the moment. What do you want XRP for? 83 in fiat. I'll check the BTC price now. Market looks, that's steadied out a little bit at least. 412 billion total market cap. Just having a look now. Oh, this internet's so slow. But yeah, Ripple's at 83.31 cents in fiat, 9,624 a sat. Taekon Tung, I haven't seen you in ages, man. Said Bitcoin will fall to 18,000. You're a little late on that news, bro. It's already cracked below 10. DGB, Vibe, Wings, Wabi are leading the way. DGD as in DigiDAO. Yeah. Vibe as in, I've got some Vibe. Is that doing all right, is it? I picked that up at 16 cents. I was pretty happy with that. Oh, no, you're talking about Viberate. I haven't even seen it. Wings, I don't have any. Wabi, I do have some. Ty goes, Bitcoin will fall to 18K, and I didn't see the rest of this. Then he goes, wait, what's the price now? Shit, I should stop using Internet Explorer. That's good. Like it. Super Hot Dog or say crypto is a cult. Yeah, I guess it is a little bit. Sold your Stellar for ICX, Kev. That's an interesting trade, man. I do a bit of that as well. Like I do a lot of my relative trading to PIVX, so it's about where each coin is relative to PIVX, not necessarily Bitcoin for me. So that's interesting that you've made that conclusion that Stellar's perhaps Icon represents better value than Stellar at this stage. I wouldn't disagree with that. I think that's a pretty solid move, dude. I think that's a solid move. I don't know if I'd have the balls to do it myself. I've got both of them. I might just hold my diverse positions there. Fish PIVX desktop wallets needs a feature that allows you to show a QR code for your receiving address so people can just scan them to pay you. I reckon, dude. That'd be the best. I heard Garlinghouse XRP is releasing 1 billion coins a week to the market. They have over 63% of the coins. Price will go awesome. Usually, saturating the market with coins reduces the coin price. Kev said, I was a part of Chaincoin, but I can be fluid about what I trade. Yeah, man. Oh, I learnt my lesson the hard way, Kev. You know, I actually wrote Max a letter asking him for permission to sell my shares because I was trying that hard to be a good supporter of, you know, it was a movement that was based on equality and that to start with, and then it ended up about building walls, fighting wars with whales that probably didn't even exist. Yeah, just like masternode only holders clubs and things like that. I was like, what? This isn't what I got. This isn't what I signed up for. And by the time I'd written that letter and got any sort of response, it was too late. It had been dumped to shit. Noddy, I said JR Garage was on fire because every coin was hot. Yeah, Grinker said it's okay that they don't know a lot. The problem is when they pretend to. Yeah, if they get on there and say, hey, guys, this is just something we're having a look at, don't really know a lot about it, but a lot of people are talking about this thing called Cardano. I don't really know a whole lot about it, but this is what I could find. If they were responsible about it, yeah, Grinkers, I agree. Everyone's allowed their say, but they did get on. Like that was a masterclass in shilling something you know absolutely nothing about. They were talking about how much they were going to make when this could go through the roof. It was totally irresponsible, especially for the market that they would have been appealing to, like Groms. For those of you not aware, Groms are like younger people in surfing term. That's not good. They don't. Yeah, they'll listen to that. So I agree with you, Grinkers. I already had like 50 people in my contacts list that already use Cash App. So now there's a lot more people with access. Cash App is very popular here. Noddy O said, when one of JR Garage said XRP is more decentralized than BTC, the reviewer Googled most decentralized crypto. Guess what? XRP. Yeah, man. That was a big mistake. It is literally the most centralized crypto. 60, I think someone said 63%. I'd heard 61% owned by the founders. Joe Smoes, we've lost over 50% of market cap. You won't see any huge moves in the market now. No, I agree. I agree. Too much of a shakeout of confidence. It'll be slow and steady if there is gains to be made now. It could get us into a really sort of boring and bearish time where there's not a lot of gains to be made. I think the economy got well overheated. I don't think anyone's really going to argue with that, are they? I didn't see it retracing this far, but I certainly, if you go back and look at my streams, I was telling you guys, I've taken some profit. And I was saying it like 2-3 times a week because I couldn't believe it was still going. So, yeah. I like it. Antagnio, V-Chain, Ben. Oh, they will, Jao. Don't be me. Jao said the 2 guys that downlike this video will not recover their coins. Their coins will not recover. No, they probably will. V-Chain I like. I like it. It's done quite well. I like all 3 projects in the the 3 projects that I've researched anyway in the RFID technology space, in Walton, in Wabi, and in V-Chain. I like all 3. What's it at the moment? Pretty much anything that you're super interested in will be significantly off the all-time highs. Now, that's not necessarily a reason to buy straight away. Usually, what the most successful investors are going to do is wait for it to bottom out and actually start to – they're not going to try and pick the bottom. They wait for the restoring confidence to show. I don't care if they get it 5% more expensive, right, or 10%. They wait for it to have like a couple of – don't look at the bloody 5-minute candles or 15-minute candles. Look at the dailies. Look at the daily candles and wait to get a couple of green ones in a row. Start that trend going again. Seriously. That's probably your best bet at the moment. Chronicus said, yeah, no, XRP is philosophically impossible for me. I would have thought so, Chronicus. Find the names of the 2 data ICOs on ICX. No, I didn't. The only one I'd heard about, Chronicus, was that video game one. They were going to be making like a virtual world. I think it's similar to similar idea to Decentraland, but it's going to be with one of the Korean video game makers on the Icon blockchain. Kev reckons that XRP will go 5x, even though he doesn't really like it. Lightspeed's giving a howdy doody with a hello. All right. Bill said, Binance, like I know from message that I sent to them, that they are also working on programmers so that they can express business through them. Yep. So that means the business in the future can use all cryptos. That's cool, Bill. Might add a bit more value to the Binance token if that's happening, man. Because if they're increasing their trade volume simply by acting as a mediatory, so like an on and off ramp between crypto and the fiat world, which they'd essentially be doing through that you're describing there. That works really well. I like that. Jao said, I sent you a PM regarding that shitcoin. I haven't been on Discord yet, dude. Yeah, I've had a bit of a cull as well, Nodio. I don't have nearly as many coins. I used to have over 50 in the portfolio. I've managed to really tighten it up to like 29 or something like that now. So, yeah, I've consolidated as well. It was too hard keeping a track of everything. Fish, my brother, who's a tax accountant, said in Oz we have to pay tax on every trade. Yeah, that's happening throughout the market, Joe. Yeah, I'll have to look into that, man. Tax time's still a few months away, so I'll go and consult with an accountant myself. Hey, my friend, I've been hodling my crypto, but why has everything dropped so low? That's John Del Genio. It's a combination of things, John. Combination of things. So this month has not been a really good month for headlines, for starters, and unfortunately, the majority of people read headlines and not the article. There are a lot of bad headlines out this month, but there are also some that are genuinely concerning. Now, for mine, regulation in South Korea is not a concern. That's a good thing. Short term, yeah, it's going to perhaps not allow for money to get into, like Korean One, to get into the economy, but long term, it's good. Regulation validates our economy, and like a lot of the big guys won't touch anything that's not regulated. So I think long term it's good. I think the market reacted poorly to that. I think the economy was overheated to start with. The amount of growth we had in December was ridiculous. November, December was just off the charts. So I think it was due for a correction anyway. But then you get on top of that, just yesterday, the Indian finance minister came out and said that cryptocurrency is not legal tender. But if you actually read the article and read his comments, he goes on to say, but blockchain technology is a very interesting prospect in the future. So the comments are kind of contradictory in saying cryptocurrency is not legal tender, but blockchain technology is very interesting. And you're seeing that repeated all around the world by governments. Dissing cryptocurrency, but going blockchain is brilliant. And it actually really makes no sense. So I think that's like part of it as well. India, China, South Korea, all making moves in the way of regulations, restrictions, and even bans on crypto exchanges. So that's certainly been part of it. Yeah, but it hasn't been a great month for news. There's no doubt about that. We also had the CoinEx hacking. Biggest US dollar value in coins lost. It was bigger than Mt. Gox. It was just a lower percentage of the overall market at the time. But the actual dollar value of what was stolen is a hell of a lot. Hell of a lot of now. $533 million from memory. It's a big hack. BitConnect failed. Finally fell apart. The pyramid scheme we were all waiting for to collapse finally did. And that's not good for our economy, because to the greater public, to the general, all they hear is crypto and scam. That's it. Crypto, scam. And BitConnect is tied in with the rest of the crypto economy, giving us all a bad name, which is for a long time why I said I don't want to see it fail. It will, but I don't want it to, because it's bad for our whole economy. So yeah, it's a good question, man. John, if you're fairly new to the economy, man, best advice I can give you at this time is, but if as long as you haven't invested more than you can afford to lose, which is your golden rule for the starters, never, ever more than you can afford to lose. As long as you've done that, hold it. As long as you can afford to lose it, because even if it halves from here, you don't even care. Even if it goes down 93%, like the worst correction we saw in crypto history, you don't care. You'll hold it until it comes back up. And if it doesn't matter, because it was money that was thrown away, reserved for high risk, high reward ventures. And in this time, the high risk didn't pay off and it lost. As long as you've kept it at that sort of investment, you'll be fine. Just hold through. That would be my best advice. Rest in peace to the guy who invested when it was 22K. Yeah, that sucks. And rest in peace to the Korean market. I think it'll come back, man. Like, when you say that, right, 22K, like, that sucks. Do you guys know that Bitcoin went from $30, like $1 to $30, or less than $1 to $30 back down to $1? Would you like to buy Bitcoin at $30 now? So let's keep, you got to keep things in perspective over the long term as well. I honestly do believe that even if you've bought at $22,000 highs, you will see Bitcoin above those prices one day. I believe that. I've done figures on it. I think they're continuing to develop their technology now at a level that's at least going to keep them up with the rest of the market. There was problems before. Bitcoin didn't seem to be moving on anything. They didn't seem to be doing anything, while the rest of the old coins were developing hard around them. But Bitcoin have picked up their feet. You've got Segwit and Lightning Network, and if that gets scaled out to the masses, yeah, I'm impressed. Tan Kai Tong, hey Fish, small question. Would you like to start running masternodes, and that we can buy shares in masternodes? Quite a good time to enter the market, in my opinion, due to the bleed out. Yeah, it's a good time. I probably don't have an interest in running like a masternode pool. Tan Kai Tong, it's just not something that I'm interested in. There are ones out there, and there are people in our investment crew who I would trust to do that, like Zhao. But Zhao's doing ICOs and stuff as well at the moment, like Grinkers, and he's doing ICOs. So it's just a matter of finding the time to actually put someone who can run that side of things. But yeah, there are more people doing it. Tankai doing the pooled masternodes. It's a good idea, man. I always think if you're going to get a residual income coin, why not actually earn the residual? I stake my Neo, I stake my PIVX. Makes sense. That's part of the reason I own them. Binance did 10 billion in one day. Wow. At 10,000 transactions per second. Targeting BF market share and other data market. Oh yeah, this is that other one. Cool. We'll have to have a look at it another time, Chronicus, because I've done no research on it. I just bought 6 ICOs last week, got about 10 more I'm going to climb into in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, it can be a lucrative market, Notio. It sounds like you're going bloody wide on them, mate. Damn, son, that's awesome. Guess one more reason to load up on more ICX goals, 1,000 plus. Yeah, cool. I was lucky enough to pick it up at ICO, Chronicus, so I got bloody 2,500 of them for 1 ether. And that was when ether was $280. So yeah, ICO for ICX was amazing prices. That's an interesting point. Loopy33 said Tether is the big one that caused the crash, and still more to come. Yeah, man, Tether's an issue. You see, it's recovered this morning. Loopy went to 99 cents again, but it's one that's got a lot of people concerned. Phil Davis said, is anyone investing in Gimmer? I haven't had a look at Gimmer, man. Lots of new ones coming out, isn't there? Jazz said, one different advice for everyone new in this market. You will see a lot of low cap coins getting wave pumped. Don't follow. In bear markets, big groups organize time pumps so people FOMO. Nice, yeah. No, I don't think BTC might be $30 again, dude. I was saying, how would you like to get it at $30? You know, back in the day when those people bought it at $30 and it dropped down to $1, they would have been feeling like idiots. They literally just went to 3% of their investment. If they invested $1,000, it'd be worth 30. But if they held through that same $1,000 that they invested when the coins were $30 each would now have them holding 30 Bitcoin, 33 Bitcoin. So they'd be laughing right now, right? $10 ethers to stake for Ethereum, I hear, after fork. Kev, I'd heard 1,000, man, unless they've sorted out sharding. Is that what the fork's for? Perhaps it's for the sharding. They've got Casper and sharding being implemented over 2018, but I thought that was sort of like medium to long term 2018, not straight away. That'd be cool, dude. I thought it was 1,000 to stake for Ether. I thought that's where they were going with it. Thank you very much, Fish. Really appreciate it. No worries, John. I don't even remember what I was referring to. It's all good. Anyway, guys, I'm done. Oh, hang on. Ed Hughes. Hey, Fish, what's up? I'm scooping up PIVX since it's on a major discount. Yeah, man, I've been buying up a bit as well. I was pretty lucky. You guys, like I told you on this show, I was waiting for ICX to surpass PIVX value and get to like a 1.2, 1.1 valuation. Then I was going to trade some of my ICX back into my PIVX savings account. So I wasn't actually making my ICX prices relative to US dollars or relative to BTC. It was relative to PIVX. And once the ICX price surpassed the PIVX per coin price, I traded some of them back in to PIVX. So yeah, man, I've been picking up some PIVX as well. Oh, that reminds me, I was going to do a PIVX quiz today. Oh, I forgot. Tomorrow? Someone remind me when we come back in tomorrow. Say, Fish, you promised you'd do a PIVX quiz. So for those of you who want to perhaps win some PIVX, come back for the chat tomorrow. And I'll do a 1 PIVX. I might do like 2 different quizzes for 1 PIVX each. So there's 2 winners. We'll see how we go. Anyway, quiz day tomorrow. Something fun. Oh, okay. I got you, Notio. Yeah, I'll try and get back on Steam, Kev. Sorry, man. If I was better at I've got to get onto DTube and Steam. I think that would actually be a really good idea. It's just getting everything fitted in the day. Anyway, guys, it's been really good catching up with you all, as always. Love having a chat. I can't remember who it was, but whoever's got their Google Hangouts and YouTube stuff sorted out. I can't remember who it was, damn it. Come on the show tomorrow for a chat. Anyway, I'll catch you tomorrow for another one. See you then. Oh, no, can't find Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts. Oh, here we go. Peace. I'll catch you tomorrow, guys. See ya.